Hi, this is the verbal meeting minutes for the West Yorkshire Autism and ADHD Deep Dive Co-Production Group meeting, which was held on the 5th of October 2022. So we opened up with an update. Rhiannon updated the group about the admin post, which a candidate has been successful for. She's accepted the role and will be in post ASAP, pending DBS checks and references. Rhiannon also updated the group on the Working Together days on the topics of children and young people assessment pathways, the right to choose pathway, and the adult assessment pathway. Rhiannon noted that registration has been good for the children, young people and adult Working Together days, but we were only at about 75% capacity for the right to choose Working Together days. Rhiannon said she felt this was reflective of the fact that not many people were aware about the right to choose. A group member added that they wondered how many people don't push for the right to choose due to already being overwhelmed. The fact that it is a self-managed process may put a lot of people off as they're already dealing with so much. Rhiannon said she would ensure that this was discussed at the Working Together Day. Members also suggested pushing the right to choose Working Together Day at the Children and Young People Working Together Day to boost attendance, and several members agreed to push the right to choose day with colleagues. A member said that it would be helpful if people were provided with a timeline of events or a drop-down diagram of how the right to choose pathway may work to increase awareness and understanding of it. Then we moved on to reimbursement for co-production. The group discussed the issues of reimbursement for involvement. Rhiannon explained that one of the principles of co-production within this project was equity. The contributions of experts by profession and experts by experience are equally valuable, and we could support to demonstrate this by paying contributors that were not already being paid in a professional capacity to be involved in the deep dive. Rhiannon explained that she and Shelley Russell had been discussing payment rates with leaders at Touchstone. Touchstone has a set reimbursement policy for service user involvement, which we don't feel is appropriate for this project, and so we would like to use the co-production contract budget to pay people a larger amount. Rhiannon said that we would like to work with the co-production group to decide what an appropriate payment for different types of work might look like. Rhiannon and co-production group member met last week to discuss this. Some things that came up were how being paid may interfere with people's benefits, existing reimbursement policies such as at Huddersfield University, and the possibility of a skills exchange for people that would rather not be paid but still need recognising for their work and contributions. Members at the co-production meeting suggested benchmarking exercises, looking at NICE guidelines, looking at what the standard rate for ICS is, and looking at the living wage. When we discussed types of involvement, there was a suggestion that a contracting model might be more efficient for task-based involvement, such as facilitation at meetings, research such as NICE guidance pathways, and producing questionnaires and surveys. Considerations that were proposed included that being paid can actually be a barrier for some people, so the option of not being paid and or other options should be available, i.e. skills exchange or development opportunities, seeing people as human beings with long-term needs and goals rather than opportunities for data harvesting. And the consideration was that representative roles could be helpful. We need to consider how equity and what we do may affect other services that use involvement across West Yorkshire. Ensuring nobody feels that there is judgment about whether they choose to accept or refuse to accept payment for participation and involvement. The question came up about what we'd do if several people wanted the same role, if rotation could work. Someone suggested that they had tried this before and they wouldn't recommend it as it was particularly tricky for some autistic people to navigate this given the lack of continuation that came with it. We agreed that Rhiannon would draw up some proposals on reimbursement based on today's discussions and feed these back to the co-production group for consideration and review. Rhiannon would also send links to existing advice and standards to show how other organisations benchmark their involvement budgets.